Hello and welcome to Hospitality Hotdish, fresh from the oven. I am Kate Conroy, Vice President here at Hospitality Minnesota, which is a member driven organization dedicated to educating, supporting, and advocating for Minnesota's hospitality industry. What you can expect from the Hot Dish are conversations with restaurants, hotels, resorts, campgrounds, and the allied members who support those businesses in the state of Minnesota. We release a new episode every other Thursday, so be on the lookout for those. Speaking of which, you can find the Hot Dish just about anywhere you can download a podcast. We even put them up on YouTube, so check us out and don't forget to leave a 5-star review so that the algorithm gets us in front of other awesome people just like you. Special shout out to today's sponsor, Terratron Incorporated, which includes Marriott and Westin branded hotels located near the Mall of America, along with several in the very up and coming community of Mankato, Minnesota. With me today is Ann Lovcik with CenterPoint Energy. Ann, say hi and let the audience hear your voice.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. Okay, and we're going to just jump right in with my favorite hard-hitting question. Ann, what is your favorite hot dish?
Okay. So I got to tell a little story first, if that's all right.
Yes.
I grew up in a very strong Norwegian family. I mean, 3 out of my grandparents were actually born in Norway.
Wow.
So it's like Norwegian is a very much part of our life,
I love it.
growing up, we had what was called lapskaus.
I've never heard of it.
Well, it's like I guess you would say it's a Norwegian hash, like corned beef, a variety of vegetables. I mean, it's the same idea in a sense of a hot dish because you throw all this ingredients together and actually you cook it on the stovetop, so it's not in the oven. So I know it's not technically a hot dish, but
Technicality.
I just love it. It's comfort food. And then my mom would always serve it. We always would buy this flatbread, Norwegian flatbread. So you had to have that with it. And tomatoes. So that was kind
And
of
tomatoes? So, okay, I have some follow-up questions. So the tomatoes were served on the side?
yeah. Or
Were they?
I know it doesn't sound really fancy, but or ketchup on top. I know.
No, please. I have a cousin who still to this day puts ketchup on macaroni and cheese. So don't even stress
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But okay, so the tomatoes, were they fresh or were they canned?
No, it had to be fresh.
And you would serve them separately, and then you would put them on top before you ate it.
Yeah. And then the flatbread with butter.
And so what were the basic ingredients of the hash? It was corned beef and then probably a starch, right? Like a potato?
Yeah, a lot of potatoes, carrots, turnip, onions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And what was the glue that held it all together? Like the cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, cream of what?
No, there was no cream of anything. I think it was maybe some water added in there. Yeah, and then it would be mashed up, believe it or not. I know it doesn't sound very pretty, but it was yummy.
It sounds yummy. It sounds really yummy. That's amazing. I can't wait to investigate that. Okay, so for
I'll
our
have to find a
listeners,
photo or something.
yes, please find a photo and send it to me. For our listeners who are not familiar, say the name one more time.
Lapskaus.
Lapskaus. I keep thinking you're going to say lobster, but no, lapskaus. I love it. Okay, thank you. I learned something very new today.
Too funny.
I
So
love it. So, Anne, in terms of hospitality, what is your why?
well, hospitality, I think it's so interesting. I think hospitality is so much about service. And you're not just providing a service, but you're providing it with care, with love. And I totally give credit to my mom because I think she had such a gift of hospitality. And everything she did was very, hospitable in the way of making people feel very warm and welcomed. And it didn't matter for what occasion. My mom always had, decorative napkins and the tablecloth and, just kind of setting that atmosphere for people to really enjoy. And so that was what I was raised in. And I think that's kind of become a part of who I am, is wanting to look for opportunities to really show care and service to others. And so it's been really fun to, I think I grew up in New Jersey. And as an adult, I did some serving for a caterer. And she did home catering. And I loved it because she was in homes in Princeton, right? That's not where I grew up in the high end, but sure.
Those are
Yeah.
some big houses.
And we've talked a little bit about New Jersey, so it was so fun to be a server in that atmosphere and provide that yummy food for them and just
Uh-huh.
provide just with a smile. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
really fun to be a part of that. And then when I moved to Minnesota, I did some banquet serving down at the Marriott Depot downtown
Uh-huh.
and loved that as well. For the most part, that was hard work. But there's something about that service. And I think for me here then at the kitchen here, it's like that's another place to kind of welcome people. We have a lot of people coming through the doors and it's so nice I love getting to know people. And so it's fun to that to me is the hospitality, is providing that like warm welcome environment for people to just
Uh-huh.
enjoy and feel comfortable sharing. So
Uh-huh.
I guess because I care for people and I want to get to know people more and provide that atmosphere for them to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great answer. It's like being able to give hugs out that aren't real hugs, but the sentiment behind a hug to strangers, just to make their day a little brighter or a little nicer, a little
Yeah.
warmer, a little more beautiful. I think that's a fantastic answer. Thank you. All right, we are going to take a quick break and we'll be back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Ann Lovcik with CenterPoint Energy. What is your favorite Minnesota escape?
So I grew up in New Jersey, as I mentioned earlier, and I
Yep.
love the Jersey Shore. Loved it. Loved it, loved
Mm,
it, loved it. My favorite place to be.
yeah.
So Minnesota, closest thing is the lakes. So
Yeah.
I definitely love that's probably we've had family that have lake homes, so we've been able to tap into that. My husband has a jet ski, so we can zip around the lake a little. But I really love just hanging out on a floaty. Oh,
Oh, yes. Yes. And you don't get the kind of rip currents in Minnesota that you get when you're at the shore. Do you have a favorite shore town in Jersey? I
well,
know
we
I
would
did.
go to Island Beach State Park. That was our favorite
Ooh.
place because that's
Mhm.
not. I mean, seaside. I would hang out with my friends, but that's a little bit more wild. The Island Beach State Park is just gorgeous, and it's just beautiful. And you can drive right out on the beach,
That's amazing. Can you
right?
really?
Yep, yeah, if you have the right car.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. That's great. What a great answer. All right. All right. So, can you talk a little bit about what you do at CenterPoint Energy?
Sure. Yeah, and a lot of people get a little confused of why is CenterPoint in hospitality. So, just in general, though, CenterPoint Energy, Minnesota is a natural gas provider. So, we're bringing natural gas to your home, to your business. We are actually in 6 states, and the corporate headquarters is in Houston. And among those 6 states, it is gas and electric, but Minnesota is just natural gas. So, we're bringing that energy to your facility. And then my role is I'm under this umbrella called Conservation Improvement Program. So what's really great about that is it's really helping customers choose equipment that actually uses less energy. So it's all about conservation or energy saving equipment. So hence we have a food service learning center that I'm in right now. It's a commercial kitchen, demonstration kitchen to allow customers to really try before you buy because that energy efficient equipment is typically a little bit higher price to purchase. So we want people to make sure it's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
What I really want to say about this facility is we don't actually own the equipment. It's all on consignment from the manufacturers. So partnering with our manufacturers, with our local reps is so critical. So the equipment is here. I work with all the brands. I'm a neutral party. I'm not trying to push one brand, which makes my job even more enjoyable, is that I'm promoting energy saving equipment. And it's kind of an interesting twist where I'm trying to encourage customers to use less of my product. So a little bit
It
different
is
that way, but it's a
very
win-win,
strange. But I love that. Yeah, it's very strange that CenterPoint has a whole division led by you dedicated to using less of what they sell. It blows my mind every time I think about it, but it's such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's fabulous. And I mean, I've done this is, I'm in my 20th year with CenterPoint, helping to manage the kitchen, bring people in. We also offer rebates back to customers if they do purchase that high efficient equipment to help offset that cost. So I love that part of my job, get to deliver rebate checks to customers. So
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
So, with a job that fantastic, is there anything that keeps you up at night?
It's interesting because I think sometimes our strongest qualities can kind of shift a little bit to the negative if they're off balance. And I tend to get kind of focused in on the details. So, besides caffeine, because I really shouldn't have caffeine later in the afternoon, but I tend to think about those details like, oh, did I word that correctly in that email? Did I move that rebate through properly? What about this event tomorrow? Did I remember to do this or that? I sometimes get caught up in those details and that can just weigh on you, and keep you like, I want to write it down. But I mean, I'm a person of faith. And to be honest, I just pray and that brings me such peace. So that's how I kind of shift.
I like it. I like it. That's lovely. Is there anything that you would like to promote?
So our facility is in Minneapolis. I didn't say that, but it's just on the west side of Minneapolis, so it's available, customers no charge. So I don't have anything specific on the calendar to just openly invite people. We have some private things coming up, but I would love to invite anybody if they're interested to give me a call, schedule some time, check out the equipment. The other thing that I would mention that's on the calendar, December 31st is the deadline for any equipment that you've installed in this calendar year that may qualify for rebates. So if you're looking to put anything new in, or maybe you have already this year, just let me know and I'd be love to help you with those rebates. So
That is fantastic. Okay, how can people get in touch with you if they need to?
yeah, I think it's probably best on the website. As it's CenterPointEnergy.com and then the /food service. And that'll bring you right to our food service page. You don't have to get overwhelmed with all the information out there. And then my contact is on there. The information about the rebates is on there. Yeah, that's probably the best way.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, fantastic. That is the show. One last shout out to our sponsor, Terratron Incorporated, which includes Marriott and Westin branded hotels located near the Mall of America, along with several in Mankato, Minnesota. Thank you to Terratron for the support. Ann Lovcik with CenterPoint Energy. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to all of you out there listening, we will see you next time. Bye.